This is the Rebuker, and I'm calling this one Zodiac Signs. Let me say this. This is for educational purposes only, and I'm only giving my opinions. So, the reason why I'm making this video called Zodiac Signs, because let me just say this. I don't subscribe to astrology at all, palm reading, horoscope reading, none of that. It's all witchcraft. I don't subscribe to it, but I do believe that from what I perceive just by knowing people that's born in these months, there is certain little things that you see that may be true, and maybe y'all can relate to it. So how do I want to go about this? I'll just say, okay, we're going to start with January, right? January, the beginning of it, I guess it's the rollover from the Capricorns. And I'm only going to give what I see with the women that I know that is these signs. So since I'm a man, I'm going to give it with the women I know from friends, people you've dated, been with, whatever. Let me just get to it though. So January got the Capricorns from what, from what I seen with the Capricorns is Capricorn women is very self-sufficient, but they're very aggressive and very domineering. When you meet a Capricorn, they have that, oh, I could do it by myself. I don't need no man, whoop-de-whoop. And they do go out and get it, but a lot of them will be single because they figure that they are equal to a man, which is false, because they figure I could get my own bag. I got this. I don't need you only for that tool. You know, that toolie you got. That's the only thing that I need you for is that wood. I could do everything else on my own. They have that. So if you meet a Capricorn, you're going to have your hands full because Capricorns, they're a tough cookie to deal with. And also, too, just to throw in a little something on there, Capricorn women is not known to have that super fire, if you know what I'm talking about. It could be good, but it ain't that super fire. I don't know why, and I'm only going off of my opinion. Then we have, towards the end of January, you have the Aquarius. The Aquarius woman is very insecure. They have a lot of, I don't know, man. It's like they have like psychological problems. Like they see things just not for what it is, it's for what they see them for. So if you meet an Aquarius woman, that's going to be a very task. Now, Aquarius women, you get in a relationship with them, they're like discreet sexual people. Like they're very sexual, but they like to keep it kind of discreet. So they don't have a problem with you getting a lot of sex from them and stuff like that. But they're kind of a head case because they're kind of controlling and domineering too. They just more indirect with it. So if you meet an Aquarius woman, usually you end up leaving them because they're just too much. They're too much of a head case. And the psychological problems that, that goes along with that. So then moving right along, what's next? I think it's the Pisces. So the Pisces, they're very emotional. The Pisces is very emotional, and they can keep a relationship though. They can hold a relationship for a very long time. For some reason, they can hold a relationship for a very long time, and they take love very serious because they're very emotional, and they could be very submissive too, and they're kind of like naive and nonchalant, and some of their stuff, you be like, wow, you're kind of off on that one. But they could be cool, but also too, they could be evil too. So that Aquarius, that Capricorn, and that Pisces could be evil. They could be evil too. They're just as, but they can be good too. But they also got that other side. So let's go to the, what is it, an Aries? Aries women, that's kind of like a sign. They could be cool with any other sign. Aries women is kind of like, hey, they just go with the flow. They could be cool with all kind of different signs because they see things for one way, for what they see them for. And the thing about them is they have a sense of reality. Like they know what's right, what's wrong. They can decipher pretty well, but at the same time, they're kind of have that self-sufficient like the Capricorn. I could do it on my own. I don't need you. They kind of want to run the show a little bit. So usually they end up single too. So, but Aries, that's a kind of like the cool sign. They cool with every other sign. Would I get with an Aries? I don't know. I'll get back to that later. So, what's after the Aries? Is the Aries? Is it the Taurus? Yeah, I think it's the Taurus. So then you got the Taurus. Taurus, they're like this. They have attitude problems, but it's not like they're really tough. They like to come off tough, but they're not tough like that. And if they meet somebody that they like, be like, wow, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to take them like that, they'll back down. Tauruses is known to do that. They come off very aggressive, but they'll back down. They're not really with it like that. But they kind of like is a sign of their own. Like Tauruses, they just they're kind of like they're a little like the Gemini, but the Gemini is way more cooler than the Taurus. The Taurus is more, they're more nitpicky, put it that way. But they're kind of like the Gemini in their way too, but just a little bit. So then, let's see, what's after the Taurus? Is it the Gemini? Okay, the Gemini. We all know about the Gemini. The Gemini women, you could be friends with them and they'll let you smash and be friends with you. They're not known to be home wreckers, but they do take their sex very serious though. If you ever been with a Gemini, Geminis they take it very serious. They like to really get with it. They into it. That's one thing about them. They're very into it. They're very cool, but I love Geminis, but I don't think that for me, I could be in a relationship with a Gemini because they're too sporadic. Geminis is like, because you could be getting into it with them or something like that, and then they got a guy friend and they just might, kick it with him and just screw him, not to hurt you or do it nothing to you. It's just that they just go with the flow. They just easy going like that. They be like, yeah, sure, why not? Hey, it ain't nothing but just that, and they can move on. So they don't catch feelings like that. Okay, then after the Gemini, you got the Cancer. Cancers is hot and cold. If you on their good side, they cool, but when they bad, they're terrible. But a Cancer woman is probably one of the most loyal out of all the Zodiacs. You get with a Cancer woman, they're going to be the most loyal, but also, too, they like to be in control. That's the only thing about them. But they will submit. They can be in a relationship for a long time, too, those Cancers. But you best believe when they have that attitude problem, it's a ugly, ugly situation. And then after the Cancer, you got the Leo, which is one of the worst signs out of the whole. Whew, man, I'm telling you, Leos, they're the most wicked, evil, maniacal type of female that you ever want to get with. But the thing that throws them off with them Leos is that the majority of them, they're good in the bedroom. That's what they're good at. They're very good in the bedroom, but they're the most maniacal, wicked, evil, cunning, conniving, you name it. They're all that. Narcissistic, all that. That I advise nobody to get with a Leo. Okay, then you got the Virgo. Now the Virgo is the quiet ones that kind of observe and watch, but they can stomp with them Geminis and them Leos though. They can stomp with them Geminis and Leos. They're like the secret, the secret squirrel. Like they quiet, they observe. The only thing about them is that they're kind of airheadish. You know, they're kind of like delusional in their own way, but they easygoing, but you know, they're kind of weird, you know, kind of delusional. So that's that Virgo. Then after the Virgo, you got the Libra. Libra women, they easygoing too. You know, Libra women is easygoing. What about they easygoing? They're misunderstood. Libras are misunderstood a lot because they could say something that they don't mean it the way people take it, and they could be very misunderstood, but they could be cool and stuff like that. Would I get with a Libra woman? Maybe easygoing. Libras, they cool. Okay, then you got the Scorpio. The Scorpio woman is one of the most dumbest women that you can ever get with. They do the dumbest stuff, whatever, but they're like the Gemini. They're wild in the bedroom. They're just like the Gemini, but the Gemini is kind of intelligent. The Scorpio is the dumb Gemini, if that's what you want to put it as, but that's like one of the dumbest signs out of all of them. I advise nobody to get with a Scorpio. Not at all. And I'm not saying, when I'm saying this, I'm not saying all, but I'm saying collectively when I'm talking about these zodiac signs. Then you have the Sagittarius. Now, let me tell you about the Sagittarius. Excuse me for that. I ain't mouth getting dry. I'm talking. But the Sagittarius is the most talented. Sagittarius, they got talent. They're warm-hearted. They could be loyal in the relationship, but if the relationship is coming to an end, oh yeah, they'll just go ahead and cut it off. They will cut it off just as quick as they came into that. If they see something ain't right and ain't going and they didn't gave it what they can give it, oh yeah, they cutting it off. But those are the warm-hearted women that you get in a relationship with that can make you feel good as a man. But also too, when it's going bad, best believe that's when they'll go ahead and cut you off. And then you got the Capricorn, and I already said the Capricorn, like I said, and that's what I see with the zodiac signs of these women. And back to the Aries, what I get with an Aries, probably I'll get with an Aries. I'll give it a shot at an Aries because they cool, but just that controlling factor would make me kind of be like, nah, because I got to be a man and a leader of anything that I'm with. I can't be second and play the, nah, can't do that one. So what sign would I get with if I had first choice? Where I'm at now is an older man. I wouldn't get with the Pisces. Too emotional, even though they cool. if I had to pick one, it would probably be either a Libra or a Sagittarius. I think, but if you in it to win it and get married, that Cancer is going to be loyal to the end. That's the thing about them, but it's just that hot and cold, like I said. But if for me personally, I'm going to get with the Libra or the Saggy. And I'm going to go ahead and end it right there. This is the Rebuker, y'all. Zodiac signs, and I'm out.